once you start only speaking what you know is true to the best of your knowledge and start acting in accordance with that is when you truly start living life. When you lie and when you hide things that you were ashamed of, or you were just too scared to speak on out of fear of what other people might think, you are emasculating yourself. It is emasculating to hold back what you truly believe and act out on that. But you live in a modern world that is designed to be emasculating. It's emasculating by design. It wants you to go against your own will and your own higher nature to be a part of what it has already tried to lay out for you. It wants you to hold your tongue and let what's real stay occulted and hidden, because it wants to make a story for you instead of you making your own story for yourself. It's trying to make you believe that it's okay to be weak and ignorant, as it has already convinced everybody around you that that's okay. And these people, most of these people aren't seeing things this way, and they want you to join the club. They want you to join the "it's okay" club. These people have convinced themselves that nothing can change, and there's nothing that they can do about their own circumstances or the circumstances of the world, not realizing that it starts on an individual level. So they look to other people and surround themselves with people that validate complacency and help them cope with their shortcomings. Shortcomings as in things that are actually in their control but decide to do nothing about. Not things that they were born with or circumstances that are completely out of control. That's not what we're talking about here. And that's not what I mean when I talk about weakness. If you ever want to become what you aspire to be as a man, at some point you are going to have to learn to stand up to the world. You're going to have to gain the strength to say no for yourself as like a skill, as something that you train, and it's a skill set. The power of saying no. Once you begin to attempt to start doing what's truly best for you, which in reality is what's truly best for everybody, the world has its way of humiliating you, because you will face failures along the way, and you will have people without these higher aspirations trying to project their insecurities onto you. So every time you fail, which you will, which is inevitable, not only are you going to have your own negative perception of yourself and other people's "I told you so," or "it's not even worth it" kind of viewpoint. It's not even worth trying. So you're going to have resistance from the inside and from the outside. So you have to be prepared for this. It's okay to have these inner thoughts, but believing them is what's wrong. Believing them is what is emasculating. Anything that kills your hope, your self-esteem, your confidence, your self-respect, your belief in your ability to do what you want to do, that is all emasculating. Anything that keeps you from being the man that you want to be. So once you start doing things differently, that are kind of harder than it is to live an easy life, an easy, comfy life, like I said, people will project their insecurities onto you because they don't like a challenge. They'll do subtle things to make you feel like being weird or doing too much or trying too hard or you're too hard on yourself. The worst advice that I've ever gotten in my life is that I'm too hard on myself. I appreciate where that comes from and the people that have told me that. Like, I understand that that's coming from a loving intention. However, I have completely disregarded this. But if you stay consistent and drown this shit out, you will begin to gain momentum. You know, at first, it feels like the small steps that you're taking, you know, you don't see much change in the beginning. But you have to start getting the little cogs spinning, and they get the larger cogs spinning, and everything gains momentum, and then you have a whole system working together efficiently. One day, you will be in a spot where you have so much going for yourself that people won't be able to say anything without looking ignorant. That's what you need to look forward to. They think it's okay to be mediocre. These people work for a pat on the back. That's what they give all their energy up for a pat on the back. They want you to validate that. That's why they want you to be mediocre with them. With all that being said, you're gonna have to stand up against the world at some point. So with that being said, how are you ever gonna stand up to the world if you can't even stand up for yourself? The constant doubting and anxiety only exists because of external factors. It's not who you truly are. They only exist because of others that want you to stay low. It's not a part of you. You've just heard it for so long that you're starting to consider it to be true. Because a majority of the shit that we hear is negative. Maybe it's because you still hang around or listen or talk to people that have nothing good to say, nothing good to do, nothing going for themselves, no goals. Because like I said, they want you to be down there with them. They want you to validate that so they can feel a little bit better about themselves if they don't have to compare themselves to you. Because that's what these people do. They compare themselves to others. This self-doubt, this negative self-talk, these negative thoughts, they wouldn't exist if you truly stood your ground as a man. Once you get to that point where you have so much momentum like I'm talking, after you stayed consistent with your own goals and building good habits for a long period of time, you'll have so much momentum going for you that the anxiety and the self-doubt and negative self-talk is not going to exist. Because for one, you'll have that belief in yourself, and number two, by that time, those negative people that you had around you before aren't going to be there anymore. Because to get there, you had to let them go. How are you emasculating yourself? Every time that you say you're going to do something and don't do it. Emasculating. Your addictions, your procrastination, your constant ruminations about the past and the future, every single day with no action being taken. Truly emasculating, isn't it? When you know there's something that you need to cut out of your life and you don't do it, you're emasculating yourself. Every time you don't keep a promise to yourself or don't do something that you said you were going to do, little by little, you diminish your self-esteem, your confidence, and your belief and your respect in yourself. You can have momentum going one way, backwards or forwards. There's no stagnation. You're not staying in one place. You're going backwards or forwards, and you're building momentum in either direction. That's the only way it really works. Nothing stops moving. Not even you, if you're laying in your bed, scrolling through a bunch of bullshit all day. It may seem like you're staying still, but you're going backwards. I mean, are you just waiting around to see how long you can get away with these things until you literally have no choice but to quit because it's ruining your life? I mean, maybe you have habits that are like mildly bad, but deep down you know you will never get to where you want to be if you keep it up. These things make you comfy. They may not be absolutely wrecking your life, but they keep you comfy. Whether it be substance abuse, nicotine addiction, weed addiction, alcohol, video games, social media addiction, Netflix. These things are like spiritual vampires that you give your energy to and yield no return on. It's like getting talked into dumping your life savings on some shit coin or some stupid NFT, and then you wonder where all your money's gone, or why you're so fucking tired and depressed all the time, because you've dumped all your dopamine into things that yield no results for you. If you don't understand how dopamine works in the brain and how that neuroscience kind of works, that is probably one of the most important things that you need to learn about yourself if you ever want to be successful. So get committed to taking action and getting serious about your life. Don't take yourself so seriously to where it's absolutely crushing if you don't stay consistent on a certain thing. But just make sure you're taking more steps forward than backwards, and don't beat yourself up too much. Also, don't try to do or change too many things at one time. You will fail. A benefit to living like this: once you start doing these things, your fake friends will just expose themselves. I talked about this in another video, I believe. But just naturally, just organically, they start becoming spiteful and showing their true colors. And it's a win-win situation, really. You may get your feelings hurt a little bit, but not for long, because you'll be so focused on what's ahead of you that you won't really have time to care. Just like any breakup, if you have shit going for you, it's a lot less painful. Just in general, living beneath your potential is emasculating. Holding your tongue and not expressing how you truly feel. Of course, think about what you say and be rational and stoic as a man, but if you feel like something needs to be said and you can be respectful about it, and you have a problem with something, if you have a problem with something and you hold your tongue, that is emasculating. Deal with the repercussions afterwards, whether you're right or wrong in the situation. But holding back is going to shrink your nuts psychologically, maybe physically too. Most likely, the minimum of your potential is doing everything that is required from you every single day, and then some. Life is hard. Doing the work is hard, but so is being lazy. Except doing the work is fruitful, and being lazy is not. But both are hard. Both is a hard path. So choose your hard. Choose which hard path you want to take. The one that rewards you, or the one that leaves you with nothing and resentment in yourself. Start becoming a man of your word, and watch your confidence grow. Watch your mind open up to opportunities and ideas that you otherwise wouldn't think of. The reason a person may be so low and they're addicted to something, or they've got some bad habit that they use to escape reality, they're just so used to a lower quality of life that they can't even imagine what it could actually be like. So they think it's not even possible. It's not even worth thinking about, worth growing these desires. It's like a person who drinks chronically, and they're at such a default low vibration because they're never completely sober, and they don't know what it's like to be. And me, having a drink after a month and feeling like shit for 2 days straight, you can tell the difference then. But a person who is always low, they can't tell the difference. That's why it takes so long to get out of an addiction, because you don't feel the results 1 or 2 days after, and that's what these people are used to, is instant gratification. That's what they expect. That's why they can't get through these long-term goals. Once you start becoming a man of your word, other people are going to trust you. People aren't going to trust you if you're not a man of your word. If you can't do these little things for yourself, you're going to have a hard time doing things for other people and sticking to what you tell them. You're going to be less valuable to them. People aren't going to trust you if you're not a man of your word, no matter how small the problem is. If they can't trust you with small things, they're not going to trust you with big things. But this is going to turn you into the man that you need to be to lift others up. And that's what you need to be working on. You need to be working yourself into a man who has an abundance of resources, wisdom, and energy where they can lift others around them up. Their family, their community, their friends, as far as they want to go. If you can't even pull your own weight, how are you going to help anybody? The world needs this from you, because there's so much weight and slack to pick up because of the people who aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing, who want to put their labor onto other people, who want people to pick up their slack. So let this realization drive you, because it can't be all selfish. It has to be a little bit selfish, maybe in the beginning, but once you get to where you need to be by yourself, then you can start helping other people. But your main goal should be, based in kind of selflessness, to be able to help other people. So let this drive you, realizing the man you need to be for your people. This is what you need to tell yourself, is that this is what you were born for, to grow into the ideal version of yourself that you want to be the man that your family needs, that your brothers need, that your wife needs, your girlfriend needs, your children needs, your community needs. That's what God has called upon you to do. So next time you feel like doing something that undermines you, remember these things. If you're not working towards being the best man that you can be, you are disregarding the love of the people that care about you, the people that love you. You are disregarding it. You're saying, it doesn't mean that much to me. Think about how much some people would like you to succeed. If you don't have those people in your life, join Adelphos. Message me personally. That's what we're here for. But don't disregard people's love. When people try to help you and you don't do anything with that energy that they put out there, you can think about it. Your ancestors sacrificed it all for you to be here out of love. That doesn't mean you can take it easy. If you take it easy, your family, your wife, your children, and the rest of your family in the future will have to pay for your neglect, will have to pick up your slack. Think about that. Now, something that is a huge help to young men and men in general, getting to this point, is having a strong group of brothers and a masculine support group that holds you accountable and keeps you focused on what's important and doesn't let you slip away and slip downwards. So subscribe to Adelphos if you're interested in being a larger part of this group and being involved or being a member. Message me on Instagram at adelphos.club. Also, follow on TikTok. I can't believe I'm saying that, but gotta do what you gotta do. Appreciate y'all.